Talking today about why anyone can be a great closer. And this was a highly requested topic from the Skyrocket Your Sales Challenge. So while you all are coming in, we've got Nancy, we've got Mary. Good morning. I love seeing my familiar faces on here in the morning. I'm so glad that you're here. This is, like I said, if you're just coming on, oh my gosh, Lisa, I was thinking about you this morning. Buena, I gotta fix my Spanish pronunciation. Buenos dias. Mary, hi. So I had so many women ask about this recently in the challenge. Laura, good morning, and say that closing was one of their biggest challenges when it came to sales. So here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know, because I always want this to be what you need. What is your biggest challenge right now when it comes to closing? If you feel like you have any challenges, like, is it that you feel scared to ask? Is it that it feels uncomfortable? Is it that it feels like it's a lot of pressure? Is it something tactical? Like, let me know what is that challenge? If you feel like you're a rock solid closer, then awesome. I think you'll still hopefully get something out of this morning. But what are the challenges you notice when it comes to closing? And if you're joining on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, pop me a comment. That's how I know you're here. And I would love to hear from you too, because I really want this to be interactive. Oh, I love seeing my ladies at the 10K club, like interacting together and hanging out. This is so awesome. So this is also the focus of the podcast this week. So I just want to let you know right up front, there's like a much deeper dive into some of my favorite tips around closing on the podcast this week. And I got so many questions about it, so many women feeling like it was challenging to them, that I wanted to do some specific content around this. Rita, good afternoon. So I'm going to share with you in my own experience, in over 20 years now of sales. I think I got closing wrong for a long time. And because of that, even though I was closing deals and I was like, by the numbers, always a top producer in the sales roles I had, but I really struggled internally with it a lot. Can anybody relate to that? Let me give me a heart or give me a yes. Like, if what you've been taught about how to close feels off to you, if it feels uncomfortable, if it feels like a lot of pressure, because I'm seeing some hearts. Okay. Yeah. So you all are with me here, right? And that's so much of what's taught. Like, what I was taught for so many years was that I had only closed a sale if someone bought from me, right? It's like closing only counts if someone buys from you. Can anyone relate to that? And because of that, I put so much pressure on myself to and listen to this language. Rita's saying yes, so you get this. I put so much pressure to make everyone buy. Okay. Now, even that language, like, when we try to force anyone to do anything, that means we're out of alignment with our natural power, right? So if that's how we go into our sales process of thinking that we are only successful if we've made someone else buy, then we're automatically out of alignment. That's why part of what's so powerful and what I love about this community is that we understand the importance of the inner work and the importance of being in alignment and understanding how money works and understanding the energetics of it. Because when you're in your full power, when you're in alignment, that's where it's like you actually don't feel like you care when you get on sales calls. Is anybody with me? Like, not that you don't care about what's going to happen for the person, but you don't care if they buy from you or not, because you already feel so good. You're like, I just feel great and I'm just excited to connect with you. Right. And so that's that energy. That's that thing that actually will absolutely skyrocket your closing rate, is you being in alignment. But I didn't know that for so long. I didn't know that. Because I felt so much pressure to perform, right? And pressure to make people buy, I would project that pressure onto my customers. And I want you to write this down if you're taking notes. Pressure diminishes your power. Pressure, like that pressure of gotta make this happen, got like, I'm not enough if I don't have this sale. That diminishes your power because people can feel that. Not only can you feel that, they feel that, and that creates resistance, right? If you've ever, who's had an experience of actually maybe wanting something, like something that you really wanted, that you were excited to buy, but then the salesperson put so much pressure on you, you were like, oh, like you felt like you had to back up, right? And then they created resistance where you were like, actually, I don't want this thing because I don't want this experience. So we want to learn how to be a little easier about it. We want to learn how to be easier about it. Let me check comments. Let's see. Lisa's saying, yes, I feel this. I historically felt like I was hustling people to buy. No more. Alignment and flow are now my drivers. Yes. And Lisa, to your point, now that that's your way of being, is it not true that you end up bringing in more clients? Is it not true that you end up closing more deals because you feel good and you're not putting pressure on people and you're magnetizing clients to work with you, right? Sierra, good morning. Yeah, and the pressure diminishes your power. Yeah, that like came yesterday. I was like, gosh, that's so true in so many. Yeah, 1,000,000%, right? Yes. So, and I want you to think about it this way. And this is part of having an abundance mindset, which to me is one of the most critically important things that's going to help you with your sales process, which is when you're talking with a client, and I really dig into this in the podcast this week, but it's that energy of the lean back, right? It's that energy of you're evaluating that person as much as they're evaluating you. And not in the energy of like, I'm better than you, but more in the energy of, hey, do I want to take you on? Like, do I feel like I can really get you the results you're looking for? And do I feel like we're energetically aligned to work together? So when you have that mindset, one of my mentors, beautiful woman, Gina DeVee, she taught me to have an ideal client checklist that was always out in front of me when I was doing sales calls. And it was like, okay, my ideal clients, who are they? They are committed to their greatness. They don't make excuses. They always find a way. They're not in victim mode. They're spiritual in some sort. I don't care what it is, but like they get it. If I need to talk about God, universe, they get it. They find a way, not an excuse, right? And it's like that. So I would really encourage you, create that ideal client, or you could even call it that client requirement checklist. Whereas you can call them sales calls, discovery calls. I do more application calls now because I really want you to be in your power. And I would encourage you to think about it that way too. For a client to work with you, it's like an application process. For you to be in your power and be so intact energetically to say, it is like an honor and a privilege for someone to be able to exchange money with me. Again, not from an ego standpoint, but what I find is too often, especially as women, when we go into sales, we can go into like diminishment and, oh, like, let me overcompensate for you and let me throw in some extras to try to get you to buy from me. Has anyone ever been like, I know I've been there. I've totally been there. Like when I'm not in my power, I have totally been there. And we forget who we are. Like you forget who you are. And so I want you to really, really like anchor in your power when there's someone who wants to work with you or who's asked about working with you, to sit back and evaluate. Not only do you think you can get them the results that they want, but do you want to work with this person? For many of you, at least like knowing many of you who are on this live stream, if you're in a service-based business, that's your time, that's your energy. That's you're letting that into your sphere and that is precious. So the lean back is imperative. So to me, what is closing really? Here's how I've come to define it in my own, this helps me. So take this if it works for you. To me, it's just helping people make a decision in favor of their highest good. That's it. It's helping people make a decision in favor of their highest good. Now, that may be working with you and that may not be working with you. Okay. That's Lisa's saying, lean back. Love this. Yes. It's that literally physically leaning back. It's that energy of like, I am only here to help you make a decision, whether it's working with me or not working with me. But there's some key words in there. And one is decision. One is helping them make a decision. Because how many of us know in our own life when we've been in indecision about something and how off that feels, right? And how distressing that is, and how uncomfortable that is. And people who get the results that they want in life get in the habit of making decisions and making them quickly and not wallowing in indecision, not hemming and hawing, right? But making a clear decision. So you have to be committed to helping them make that decision in favor of their highest good. So again, when you're creating, and I know so many of you on this call, like, and each of us, like, we're creating a transformation for our clients, whether you're a quote unquote transformational coach, or whether you're helping someone get in a better living situation, whether you're helping somebody write their speech, like whatever it is that you are doing, you're creating a transformation. So you want to be thinking about, for where that person wants to go, what's in the best and highest interest for them? What's the decision that's going to help them most? And then helping them make that decision. And a decision is a yes or a no. It's not a maybe. So indecision is a decision. It is. And it's the low level, low vibe, like when you're scared, when you're fearful. And so if you've got a lot of clients who are like wallowing in indecision or who are not taking action, when they talk with you, here's what I would look at is, one, we always have to look at ourselves first. So your clients will always just be a mirror for you. They will always just be a mirror for you. And whatever your habits are, like whatever you're great at, your clients will tend to mirror back to you. And whatever the areas are that aren't working as well for you, your clients will tend to mirror back as well. So you first have to look at, am I great at making decisions in my own life? And am I great at making decisions in favor of my highest good? Who's getting this right now? Like, is this an aha for anybody, that your clients are mirrors for you? That whatever objections you tend to get are the ones you tend to give? For me, I used to give a lot of money objections. Like, I'd love to do it, but I just can't. I don't have the money. Right. And I did that for so long. And it was a really low level way to live. And because of that, I stayed in struggle. Mary's giving a thumbs up. Yes, you're getting it. Beautiful. I stayed in struggle. I stayed in, saying I'd love to have it, but I can't, and watching other people have what I wanted. And then I realized, and I learned just through great mentors and coaches, that you don't need to know where the money is going to come from until you make a decision. Do we get this? Like, the money shows up when you make a decision. And so I got in the habit of making decisions and making them quickly and saying, I trust that I'm going to find a way to make the money work for what I need right now. And now I never use money as an excuse. Like, if I know I need something, I find a way. I find a way for it. And my clients are phenomenal at this too. And many of you who I'm seeing here on this live, you are my clients. And I know how you found a way for us to work together. And for many of you, it wasn't easy. It wasn't like you just had the money sitting around, but you found a way. And so I want you to know, like, your clients will mirror back to you whatever it is that you personally are doing. So we've got to get great at making decisions and helping other people. I'm seeing thumbs up. I'm seeing yes. We got to help other people make decisions too. Jen on YouTube, good morning, my friend. I'm so glad you're here. So I'm going to give you one quick tactical. Thank you for the hearts. I'm going to give you one quick tactical, and then we'll wrap for today. And if you have questions on your closing process, like, pop them in the comments. I would love to help you. I want to know, do you have questions on anything we've talked about? This is, again, my preference is not me just yapping at you during the live. Like, I want to hear from you. What do you need? What are your questions? Let me know. So one tactical thing that for me has been transformational and really has worked well for my clients as well is you want to just really get in touch with, like, what's your sales process? And you're always closing for the next step. Okay. So like, knowing a lot of you on this live, most of you are not selling one call close type of things. Like, you're selling more long-term. It maybe is a longer sales cycle. I've sold both. I've sold really short-term and I've sold really long-term. When you're selling, either way, you want to tee up the conversation at the beginning with your client about what is the end. So you always begin with the end in mind. So let's say that you have a shorter sales process. And it's really just if you're having a conversation or a discovery conversation with someone, they should be able to make that decision in that same conversation. So the way you would tee that up at the beginning would be something like, Laura, good morning. I'm so excited to talk with you today and to hear more about what's going on for you in your life and with your business. And, I want to also just open this up with our intentions for the meeting. So my goal for this meeting is that we really dig in and find out what your vision is for the next 90 days and what's holding you back. And then if it feels right, we can take a look at working together and see if I feel like the right mentor for you. And I also think I can help you. And from there, if it feels aligned, we can actually go ahead and get you started today and get you enrolled. And if it doesn't, that's totally fine too. And I want you to feel really comfortable telling me either way by the end of this call, if that feels like the good next step for you. Is that fair? Is there anything else that you're looking to accomplish in this meeting? So just teeing it up like that, right? Like very simple, very laid back, but getting that agreement and buy-in at the beginning that that's where you're going. That's where you're going at the end. Now, if it's a longer sales process, then you're just teeing it up for the next step. So I work with a lot of financial advisors, and that's oftentimes a 3 to 6 step process when you're working with a new client. And so in that first meeting, that first discovery, you might tee it up that, hey, I'm really looking forward to sitting down and talking with you about your financial goals this morning. And as we talk and look at where you want to be, if you want to take this further by the end of the meeting, then here's what would happen next from here. And then you kind of lay out what the process is. I gather the financials and put together a plan for you, yada, yada, right? And we'd meet again in a week. So but part of where people can go off the rails with this is not getting that agreement and that buy-in at the beginning. So then you don't have it's like anything in life. If you don't know where you're going, you're just going to go all over the place, right? Is this making sense? Is this resonating with you? Let me know if you all have questions on this, because I hear oftentimes from clients like, so-and-so fell off the map. And I don't know, this isn't really from clients. This is more from like people I just engage with and talk to and clients I used to work with, but like so-and-so fell off the map and I'm not hearing back from them and I don't know what to do next. And it's like, you probably didn't tee it up for the next step at the beginning of the conversation. And the other piece that I would encourage you to do, let me move. Notifications. Oh my gosh. All right, there we go. Molly, good morning. The other piece I would encourage you to do is, and I've done this off and on in my career. I would say when we were earlier on, I did this a lot more because we didn't have that like really solid pipeline coming in yet. But set a meeting with somebody. Like if you work on a proposal process, or proposal basis, I know some of my clients are in like marketing or they're selling B2B and they have a discovery meeting and then they create a proposal. Instead of just sending it and like waiting for feedback, set another meeting, like have that initial conversation. And then from there, set another meeting with them. So, hey, I'm going to put this proposal together for you. And my process is we schedule another time to get together so I can go through it with you, answer any questions that you have, and then customize from there if needed. So it's all just about that way. You're not like chasing somebody, right? Because anytime we get into that energy of chasing, we're out of our power. Are you all with me here? We're out of our power and we're out of our alignment when we're in that chase mode. So you want to get clear and look, if it's not somebody you want to work with, then don't set another meeting. Like you got to be very comfortable telling somebody that you don't think you're a good fit to work together. And that's part of, again, coming back to your power, knowing how to set your financial frequency to the level that you want, because when you do those clients and the money must flow in at the level that you're vibrating at, right? So we get to be less attached to who buys from us and who doesn't, and more in the lean back, more in our power, more in the evaluation mode. And then that's when you have really great clients, like really great client meetings. And you also start to get more of those like dream opportunities showing up that just quote unquote seem to show up out of thin air. They're not showing up out of thin air. You drew them in. Okay. But it's because you were in your power. So that's really what I have. I've got a couple a couple cool things to wrap up, but does anyone have questions on this? Laura is saying such great information. The mirror back. I'll be more mindful of this for sure. Yes, Laura, I love that. Everyone is just a mirror. Everyone and everything is just a mirror. So I was talking this morning with my husband about some of my greatest teachers in this life are the ones that have, our greatest teachers are always the people who trigger us the most, right? Because they're just mirroring back to us anything that we aren't loving about ourselves, right? So everything's a mirror. Your clients are a mirror. Your boss is a mirror. Your whatever is happening in your life, you're creating all of it. Okay. So we got to take full responsibility and full power here. So if you have questions on any of this, pop this in the comments. Otherwise, 2 quick invitations and then we'll sign off for today. So I mentioned this yesterday, but next Thursday, so Thursday the 29th, I'm hosting a closed door workshop. It's for women who want to just like crush the end of this year and absolutely achieve miraculous things in their sales, their business, and their life. And so send me a DM if you want to learn more and get an invitation to that. And also, again, the podcast this week is all about this. It's actually a solo episode where I do a deep dive into more about closing process and how you can just grow your confidence there and close more. And you will close more sales like this. Like it's counterintuitive, but everything in life that works is opposite of how you think. So typically opposite of what you've been taught to be true. So, all right, my loves. Well, thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who joined live, and again, send me a DM. Let me know. I want to know, are you liking more of this mix of the tactical with the mindset? Are you what are you craving more of? Or do you want more book study together? Like, tell me what is most useful to you. I've got this time carved out on my calendar every morning to be with you. And I'm here to support you in whatever way I can. Jen on YouTube, realizing the mirror effect so much this week. When you change, they change. It's weird. Yeah, Jen, that is 100% the case. It's all just a mirror. Everyone and everything is just a mirror. So we have to take full responsibility and accountability for what's going on in our lives, because powerlessness is a choice. And I chose that for many years. So that's coming from a woman who chose that, even though she didn't know she was choosing it, but she was choosing it. So when we learn this, though, we can shift, and it's really powerful. We got some people coming. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Good. Well, I think it's afternoon where you are. Good afternoon. We're actually just wrapping up, but it's so good to see you, Sierra. Welcome, welcome. Mary, you're loving the mix. Good. Okay. Really, really good. All right, my loves. So good to spend time with all of you this morning. And send me a DM. Let me know if you want an invite to next Thursday's workshop. Let me know if I can help. And wishing all of you a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you again tomorrow morning at 8:30 Eastern. Bye for now.